everybody, to another episode of Head to Head Sports. I'm your host, Brian Parker, along with my co-host, Mr. Randall Hargrove. How you doing, sir? Birthday boy.
Good, man. I'm looking at my background here. I need to get some Steelers stuff. What the hell?
Yes, sir, you do indeed. We are back for another week of NFL talk. And if you're wondering, Brian, why you have scissors in your hand, it's quite simple. Today is cut day. That's right. All the NFL teams were required to make sure cuts have gone, and teams are being required to cut down to their 53-man roster between even now and I think it's tomorrow officially, though, isn't it?
Yeah, tomorrow by 4 p.m.
4 p.m. So they got to cut it. They got to cut it down, which is going to be a little easier for teams to do because they've already played their last preseason game, which is kind of odd. But now we have a lull between preseason and regular season as teams now decide on a lot of roster spots, depth charts, things of that nature. How many quarterbacks are they carrying, et cetera. And, that's going to be a thing, particularly with teams like the Cleveland Browns that have 4 quarterbacks that are promising to keep them all, which is going to be a feat in and of itself. A couple of quarterback controversies that are going to be out there starting the season off, whether it's the Indianapolis Colts putting Daniel Jones ahead of Anthony Richardson. How long can Russell Wilson stave off Jackson Dart calls once the Giants start playing, depending on if they get started fast or if they start to struggle early? Will there be an outcry for Dart to hit the field sooner than later? New Orleans Saints having a quarterback battle between Rattler and Shook down there. Kellen Moore has not said exactly who the starter is going to be. 2, some other quarterbacks out there, Rand, that are a little bit happier today, particularly one Jaden Daniels, because his wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, finally ended his hold-in by signing a 3-year, $96 million contract. So congratulations. For real. Trey Hendrickson just re-signed or got a pay increase from the cheap-ass Cincinnati Bengals that decided to give him a pay increase of $14 million, but no extension. So he'll still be a free agent at the end of this season. It's just that instead of $16 million a year, he'll be getting $30 million, all of that guaranteed. But he'll be in the same boat next year, free agent, and can still face being franchised.
You don't get no cheaper than the Cincinnati Bengals. I saw that too. Like they gave my man a pay raise, like he's working at McDonald's or something.
And made him beg for it. He had to beg for it.
Lord, have mercy, man.
Yeah, they are cheap ass Bengals, man. And then, but we still got the constant drama with Jerry Jones down there in Dallas. Michael Parsons laying on the damn on the bed and on the damn. That's why Steve was playing. And this one is going to be again. There was a time when people were going, man, that's just Jerry. He'll figure it out. Michael will be out there for that November 4th game against the Eagles. That ain't happening. That time to me has passed because that is literally a week from Thursday. And even though Micah keeps his body in good shape, there's a difference than being in shape and being in football shape. Being out there running with pads on, taking a little bit of contact, things like that. If that was going to happen and he was going to be out on the field, that would have happened at least a week ago. But I think now we're within that threshold where that would be pretty damn near impossible. And the other thing that makes it impossible is Jerry seems to be pretty dug in that he doesn't believe he needs to talk to Micah's agent to get anything done. And I don't know who else he's negotiated contracts with on the team that didn't have a damn agent. But for some reason, Michael Parsons don't need to be bothering his agent with contractual stuff.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys. It's crazy as hell, man. Somehow, some way, I still see some sorting this out and returning to the team. But you're right. Ain't no way he's suiting up.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me, Rand, of when TJ Watt didn't sign until damn near the day before, it felt like, and then he ended up getting hurt. Even if Micah signs and hadn't been doing anything, I'm afraid that if he played in that first game, like right now, say for instance, just wild case scenario, Jerry and Jesus talk overnight, and Jesus say, Jerry, you need to stop this shit. Sign the man. Not that Jesus would say that exactly, but he would say something like that, and Jerry would wake up and say, "You're right, Jesus. Let me call this agent and get this signed." And they sign Micah by noon tomorrow. Micah starts doing practices and stuff like that. Number one, he gonna be on a pitch count. You can't play him the whole game. His conditioning ain't gonna be there. The other thing you'd have to worry about is that he may tweak something. You know, all of a sudden his back gonna start feeling better, but then you got to worry about other things. Uh, yeah, Anthony would say that that he'll end up hurting himself, and then all the money that you just sat there and gave him guaranteed, now your season is going to be in jeopardy because he may end up missing parts of it. So that's what I would worry about. By even if he does sign, trying to bring him back too early. Um, just because you done signed him and now you want him to perform like that. It takes a while to get back into football shape.
Takes a good little while. It's not the same as like gym repetitions and calisthenics.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So Anthony had two questions for you, Rand. Well, I'm sorry, not one question. How do you feel about your boy Hooker getting cut from the Lions?
It's just unfortunate what has happened to this kid, man. I mean, he was really in a position to be drafted first round quarterback by I forget who now, but teams that are like in contention now back in the day. And then he blows out his knee like literally right before the draft at the end of the college football season. And he's just never been able to get back on track with his career. But it just goes to show you, how much money sometimes athletes could lose by just one injury. And he's a prime example of that. This man might have lost his career by one blown out ACL. No telling who else he might catch on with. I wish him the best, though, because at Tennessee, he was very, very promising when he was playing. So how do I feel about it? I feel bad for him. I feel terrible. But I'm pulling for him. I hope he catches on with somebody that will be patient with him. Not that the Lions haven't, because they really have. But I'm hoping he's able to get his form back.
Yeah, we had a couple moves like that, and now Hendon Hooker got put aside in favor of Kyle Allen. You saw Sam Howell get traded from the Minnesota Vikings to was it the Eagles? I think it was. And then, and then immediately Minnesota signed Carson Wentz. It doesn't tread on them tires still. It's been some interesting moves for sure. So it's going to be interesting. Anthony also says Jerry Jones. Yeah.
I heard Cleveland reach out to you to play quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, why not? Hey, if anything, I'm going to find out the best spots in Cleveland to get a damn massage.
Well, you know who to ask.
I know who to ask. I know which ones to stay away from. They can't keep their mouth shut and be snitching too much. I ain't going to them. I'm going to find out which ones he went to, and I won't go to them because I'll be like, nah, they talk too much. They got jacked up. Oh, Lord. He love you a long time is still waiting for his chance. Oh, my gosh. So Anthony has said that Jerry Jones is doing an amazing job. Keep that man in office. Yeah, you would say that, Anthony. You want your Commanders to come in first or second in that division. I get that. Listen, Anthony, we have no problem with Dallas finishing how they're going to finish. You don't even have to worry about whether Jerry croaks in the middle of the season or not. After listening to his daughter-in-law, Charlotte, and listening to Stephen Jones talk, it sounds like Jerry done trained him to be just like him. Because I heard this chick on one of these interviews acting like the thing going on with Micah ain't no different than what goes on with all negotiations. And I'm sitting there like, not talking to the agent. That is crazy. That nobody does it like that. Charlotte acting like she can't understand why everybody keep looking at the Cowboys when it comes to stuff like that. Because y'all are the most dysfunctional franchise when it comes to re-signing players. And you've probably spent millions of dollars more waiting to do what you eventually were going to have to do anyway, whether it was extending Zeke, whether it was letting Emmitt Smith, even back in the day, sit out 2 games before you realize, okay, we might not win the Super Bowl if we don't get this dude. Franchise tagging Zach and paying him an exorbitant amount because you franchised him, only to then re-sign him to a contract extension. Wait until the last day to sign CD Lamb. Y'all do these things and then you look around and be like, why everybody looking at us?
Yeah, if there was ever a time to let Dak Prescott go, they missed that window.
Oh, they missed that window. Now they can't afford to let him go.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part. You would be like, well, can't you just know? Because now you'd have so much dead money on your salary cap that you are in a marriage of convenience. I can't afford to divorce you. You know, you ever seen 2 people, they be in a relationship and you know that they hate each other, but they be like, hey, I need your salary and my salary to agree so we can pay these bills.
Yep. One in one bedroom, the other in the other.
That's it. That's all you doing. Y'all just trying to make it work and be like, I can't wait till he passes because at least I can get the insurance money. You know, right. It might be one of them kind of things. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it might just be me. Maybe nobody.
You, brother. Look, my 9 to 5 is to go to people's houses, and I've seen this situation play out firsthand. I've seen the rich do it with bedrooms, and I've seen the poor do it with a curtain down the middle of the room.
Woo! Oh, golly. Jesus Christ. Hey, it's real out there. I've seen that too. I ain't gonna lie. I've even seen, even if you had to share the bed, that you would divide the bed up with the bed covers. And I've seen that. I ain't gonna say
that's some miserable living, boy.
And it is just to make sure that you can keep up your current living situation as far as not having to downgrade your life just because you and that other person don't see eye to eye anymore. So yeah, that's a terrible existence. So make sure you know who you're getting in bed with is the moral of that story. Sometimes they still change on you. Women change. Anyway, so we've got 3 divisions we're going to squeeze in and also our playoff predictions. And we'll get that all done, I promise, before the show ends. So we're going to jump right into it. Rand, we currently have the AFC West, the NFC West, as well as the AFC East. So I'm pulling up my little tracker right now. Let's jump into the one oddball, the AFC East. We had, and we finished in this particular order last year, the 13-4 Buffalo Bills, the 8-9 Miami Dolphins, the 5-12 New York Jets, and the 4-13 New England Patriots. So let's go to the Buffalo Bills. Their current depth chart at quarterback is going to be Josh Allen, followed by Mitch Trubisky. And then they also have it running back.
That name just
it hurts me to even call Mitch since he went to Carolina. I know it does. Still got a little PTSD from Mitch.
Yes. God, yes.
Oh my God. Oh, you got. Wait a minute. That can't be true.
What you got?
No. Okay. That can't. Hold on. That can't be true. I gotta click on this just to make sure I'm not losing my mind. Because if it is, oh sweet Jesus, oh my God, it is true. Okay. I will bring this up because I did not know this. So the depth chart of running backs for the Buffalo Bills: James Cook, Ray Davis. I wouldn't even go past the first two: Ty Johnson and Frank Gore.
Didn't Frank Gore retire like
Is that
5
possible?
years ago? Jesus.
Is Frank Gore still playing?
Holy cow, man. Cow.
Rain, I almost fell out of this chair when I saw. I said, maybe it's Frank Gore Jr. Maybe somebody just got the same name. I clicked on it, and I swear to God, it's his picture.
Wow.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. He looked like Don DC Curry in that picture. Lord have mercy.
Oh, wait.
He looked like somebody about to say, Day.
It is Frank Gore Jr.
Is it Junior?
Junior. It's Junior. Thank God. I thought,
Okay. Well, it
thought
says Frank Gore here.
Yeah.
If that's Junior, he looks so much like Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, it does say draft info. What's the draft info? 2005.
Yeah.
That would be 20 years ago.
Somebody's made
Maybe
a mistake
they got
on your
links. Somebody got the links messed up because I'm sitting there like, okay. Because I'm like, what's next? Antonio Gates? I mean, come on. Man, I almost had a fit over here. Like, really? He said, you sure that's Frank Gore? Anthony, I'm sorry. I clicked on the link. You know, when it lists the depth chart, there's hyperlinks. You click on the link, and I swear for God, that's Frank Gore. He Junior, and then when I looked at his stats, it said he was drafted in 2005, and I'm like, but that ain't no damn junior because that was 20 years ago when he was drafted. So somebody might have meant junior and put the wrong link on here, but I'm just going, wait a minute. There ain't no way Frank Gordon came back out and said, I'm a suit up for the Buffalo Bills. I know Sean McDermott and Brandon Bean be trying to find some different things to do up here, but uncorpsing a corpse is not one of them. Anyway, that was hilarious. All right. So yeah, we'll go with James Cook and Ray Davis, and Ghost of Christmas Past behind them. You also have. I'm sorry. You also have a wide receiver, Khalil Shakir, Elijah Moore. You got Laviska Shenault. I'm telling you, Buffalo ain't nothing but Carolina North. We send everybody from Carolina to Buffalo. Shaq done found his way up there. Shaq Thompson is now Buffalo Bill. Laviska Shenault used to play for the Panthers. Curtis Samuel is now a wide receiver. He played for the Panthers.
I'm telling you, as soon as
Coleman is another receiver, Joshua Pope.
As soon as Carolina brings a player into the office to be cut, they're like, give me your playbook. Here's a ticket to Buffalo. It's an exchange. It's an even exchange. It's an exchange.
It's for real. It's a pipeline. You got the two D's at tight end, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. So I think they're really good with a nice balanced attack on the offensive end. Of course, on the they got, like I said, now they've got Shaq Thompson at weak linebacker. DeMar Hamlin is back as a free safety. Taron Johnson, Christian Benford. So they've got a nice little returning of players sprinkled in with some new guys coming up from Carolina. Well, other places as well. But Rand, I don't really see where they've taken too much of a step back from what they did. My only question with Buffalo, and we ask this every single year now. He said, "Yeah, you're right. Another link shows Frank Gore Jr." Okay, cool. Yeah, they put Dad on ESPN. So, but anyway,
somebody getting fired for that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I almost had a fit on that one. I mean, that's just crazy. Anyway, I mean, now I'm looking for Mort to come back out of retirement and start kicking again. So, um, but you got the biggest question with Buffalo isn't have they taken a step back? Have they taken a step forward to be able to get out of this window that for the last 3 years I've said has closed on their ability to get past Kansas City? Have they done enough to finally dethrone Kansas City? And honestly, Rand, the only way to that I can see to dethrone Kansas City is not play them at Kansas City in the playoffs. Make it come through Buffalo.
I know, but it was in Buffalo last year, their playoff game, I believe, if my memory is correct, and Kansas City took them there. So
Still
it's
got
like, my Lord, man, it's just their Achilles heel, it's the thorn in their side. Imagine being Buffalo fans, and you are literally 13 seconds from a trip to the Super Bowl, a place you haven't been since the 90s now. You are 13 seconds away, and you can't hold that.
And them lights get real bright.
I couldn't imagine.
Big, 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 big.
I couldn't imagine that.
That's crazy. So, you know, they're the team that still, in my opinion, is heads and shoulder above in their division.
No doubt.
It's just winning the conference. It's like you said, Kansas City, for whatever reason, even when Kansas City isn't quite right, they still find a way to keep Buffalo at bay. And again, every single year, I ask this question: has their window closed? Have they done enough to supplant Kansas City? Even when Kansas City, from some accounts, I wouldn't even call Kansas City a rebuilding year, and we'll get into them in a second. But hell, they're gonna have some healthy players playing together for the first time, whether it's Hollywood Brown and Rasheed Rice and Worthy. Oh my God! If they all get on the same page and get going, forget about it.
Yeah, I think that
older Kelsey or not.
Yeah,
No.
because I mean, Kelsey is older, but he's not even the best tight end on the team anymore. It's the other guy. I'm getting his name right now, but I think it's Noah Gray or something like that.
Noah Gray, yep, you're right.
But
That's correct. You got
anyway,
Rob,
yeah.
but yeah.
The method or the way for the Bills to get to the Super Bowl over Kansas City is probably just not to play Kansas City. They got to hope for somebody else to take Kansas City out. Yeah, for real.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually a better point, is let somebody else beat them up and take them out.
Exactly. And whoever that somebody else is, let them come to Buffalo in the freezing cold weather. And then the Bills got a shot. I'm with you though. I thought their window had closed a few years ago as well, especially last year, because I'm looking at these receivers and I'm like, who is this guy? Who is that guy? But they just continue to reload and do it again. As long as Josh Allen is standing and running and passing, they always got a shot, especially in that division.
And well, it makes it so hard too, because James Cook does run hard. Ray Davis is a good backup to him. So you establish your running game, but you also have the threat of the RPO, because Josh Allen, yes, he's getting older and everything, but is still a viable option on any kind of design runs, extending the play with his legs and stuff like that, which is a receiver's best friend too, because these speed guys like Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, trying to get down the field, he gives them more time to do that and to go into their second break on a lot of their routes, trying to shake loose any defender. That is also a good recipe for him being able to push the ball down the field when he needs to. Or even in the short game, having tight ends like Knox and Kincaid that can catch the ball across the middle and protect themselves when they catch it. That's valuable too. So that's what I'm saying. He's got a lot of good weapons and everything. It's just getting past those pesky Chiefs. So I've got the Bills again finishing first in their division, no doubt.
I have the same.
All right. See, now let's look at the New York Jets because the Jets have parted ways with their quarterback when Aaron Rodgers is now plays for a team that evades me right now. I can't think of who he went to.
Yeah, after about 6
But
months in a cave waiting for his ass.
some about them black rooms. Maybe he saw black and yellow when he was in that dark room. But those New York Jets decided to take a gamble and bring in Justin Fields to start, and Tyrod Taylor just keeps finding a way to tag on. So right now he's number 2 on the depth chart, and then you've got your power backs and your scat back with Brees Hall and Braylon Allen. You've got Garrett Wilson at receiver, Tyler Johnson as a receiver, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard back. I thought Allen would end up in Pittsburgh just because Aaron would just bring him along in the back in his suitcase.
I did too, but evidently the Steelers ain't having that crap.
You mean he's not going to get to pick his offensive coordinator?
No.
Oh gosh, no, they've got a tight end Mason Taylor. Not too familiar with him. So that's what they have on the offense side. I'm a little worried about this offense because, Justin Fields, he's really got to be able to show me this year that he can push the ball down the field, that he won't take unnecessary sacks, that he can get the ball, protect the ball. Ball security is going to be a real big thing for him, but not be gun shy. When I saw him play last year in Pittsburgh, he went for a lot of the safe throws and really did not try to push it. I'm not saying put it in harm's way, but you've got a receiver in Garrett Wilson that's going to need you to try to give him some of them 50-50 balls, some over the shoulder balls into the end zone and things like that, because he can win a lot of those. So he's really going to have to kill these receivers and push the ball down the field for them to have any success, or you're going to rely so much on your defense to try to keep you in low-scoring games. And as I keep bringing up every single week, is this going to be one of those teams that is built to be able to come from behind when they get down a score or two? You got to be able to do that when it matters the most, not just pick up a bunch of yards during garbage time when the outcome has already been determined, but can you kind of pad those stats and stuff like that so people don't think you had too bad of a game when they're looking at the stat lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, Fields is another quarterback I kind of feel for. I mean, he goes to Chicago. Fans pretty much immediately want him out of Chicago. They voice their opinions pretty loudly there. He comes to Pittsburgh with a great opportunity until Russ gets there. Now he's been named the starter, but like you said, scared to make a mistake because he's got Russ sitting behind him.
Right.
He knows the first bad game he has, he's out of it.
Yep.
And the kid really didn't play that bad.
No.
But he was out of there anyway. So, yeah.
And he didn't even stick around. He said, "You know what? I saw how y'all did. I'm out.
Yep. No negotiation. I'm good." Yep.
Yeah.
So he was definitely in his feelings off of that one. No doubt about it. Because we wanted to keep him. We wanted to offer him a contract, but he was like, "No, thank you." I remember what y'all did with Russ. Y'all could have it.
I'm wondering if that's going to end up being one of those hindsight 2020 things where he may have benefited by sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for one more year and then becoming the heir apparent after that. I know that York, said, "Hey, not only are we going to make you our starter, we're basically going to clear the field for you. So you're not really going to have somebody behind you to look over your shoulder." Tyrod is a proven veteran, but he's not somebody that we're looking to have as a starter, more as a security blanket for you.
Right.
And he probably took that and said, "You know what? I've been in the league. I kind of got thrown to the wolves in Chicago, didn't have a line to protect me, got sacked so many times, shook his confidence." Totally understand. He got known as a turnover machine. Some of it was on him. So a lot of it wasn't. Then he goes to Pittsburgh, thinks, hey, I'm doing everything right. I'm not messing up. I'm, keeping us in games. We're winning games.
We're winning.
And I still get pulled.
Yep.
So, but in that now he's got this fresh start. So really, in my mind, Justin, this is what you asked for. So I ain't gonna have no sympathy for you. Because at the end of the day, it's still green and white Jets.
Yeah, that part.
So hey, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. They do still have a decent defense with a new head coach. I think it's going to be even better. I think Sauce Gardner is going to kind of come out of his sophomore slump. He hit the ground running with his rookie season. In my opinion, he kind of stepped back a little bit last year and wasn't really that guy that we saw in his first year. So I'm really looking forward to what this year is going to produce from the kid. I think if the defense can get going, they'll be good. But you want to have a complementary offense that doesn't wear that defense out and have to make them play over their heads just to be able to keep the team in the game.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I see a lot of struggles with the Jets. New head coach, new quarterback, new young quarterback. Like we were kind of saying, do they have the ability to come back if they're down? Justin has not showed that to me in a few years now. Good forerunner, but not so good in coming from behind to win football games. So, yeah, I got them coming in. I got them coming in fourth.
Man, I'm going to tell the audience what I always say. We do not go over these before the show. I, too, have them as fourth. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yes, that's nuts. That is hilarious. All right, let me go to the next team because this is really good. Okay, let's talk about those Mike Daniel Miami Dolphins. Of course, you got Tua Tagovailoa as quarterback, Zach Wilson as his backup. You got Devon Achane and Jalen Wright as your running backs. You got the Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, Westbrook. How you say this? Westbrook Ikeni? Nick Westbrook. You got Jalen Waddle. You got Malik Washington. You know what I'm talking about? He's got a hyphenated name. I just can't remember how you say it. So he's got his stack of receivers. He's got Darren Waller at tight end. Darren Waller's trying to come back after a year or two out, I believe.
He's been out.
So we'll see how this goes. I'm not at all looking at their offense worried about the offense. The one thing I'm worried about is the line, making sure that Tua stays upright, making sure that Tua has time to get rid of the ball, making sure that Tua protects not only the ball, but himself. He's proven that when he's out on the field, he can be the difference between them having a winning record and a losing record. People can say what they want about Tua, but we have seen how these Miami Dolphins play when Tua is not under center. So I'm not going to discount that. Would Tua necessarily be that kind of guy on all the other 31 teams? Maybe not. But for the Miami Dolphins, he definitely knows how to drive this car. And he needs to be the one behind the wheel, provided that he can stay protected. Of course, his health is always the most important thing. But that, to me, that's going to be the biggest thing, Rand. They are going to go as far as Tua goes.
Exactly. They're going to go as far as Tua. They have some pretty significant losses off that defense and the offensive line, to be honest, over the last 2 years. It was so hard for me the New England Patriots. It really was.
Yeah.
Who comes in second? Who comes in third? Who comes in second? Who comes in third?
Yep.
That was a hard decision for me with this one.
I got to know what you did. I got to know.
So I barely had Miami over New England. But can't argue if it's the other way around. Can't argue at all.
Okay. Fair enough. So it's more like a 2 and 2A.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did the same thing. I struggled with the same thing, and I said, you know what? There is something wrong in that locker room. On paper, that offense looks right, but there's just too much leaking out about the culture of this team, and culture can bleed onto a field and unravel it. Of course, Tyreek didn't help that with some of the trust erosion that he had his hand on with the team, where they got to now believe that he really wants to be there. He ain't gonna quit on this team. When you quit on your team, man, you got to get that trust back. And they'll say all the right things to the media, but when you do that, um, and you say you want to be out of there and stuff like that, your team. Now, I'm not saying this all on Tyreek. I just keep seeing all these stories about some culture issues, or even it dealing with the coach himself. I think that's going to bleed into this season, and I got him at third, and I got the Patriots with Vrabel, a young Drake May up in there, and it's now some more weapons about to wreck some shop in this, AFC East. I can
I
be
can't
totally
fault
wrong.
you. No, I can't
Um,
fault you. When your name is
yeah,
Tyreek Hill and you have 4 touchdowns, that's just such an eye raiser, man. Because this dude is not past his prime. What the hell's going on? You know? So,
right. Exactly. There's something there, and I don't want to discount it because I know how a lot of times you can have all of the great names on paper and everything else, but if the chemistry and the cohesion isn't there, it won't matter. It won't matter. I've seen some really, really good teams not do a ounce of crap just because you could tell that they were not on the same page, and that's what I worry about with Miami. So um, we'll see how that goes. Let's look at New England, and since we were kind of um, segue into them anyway, you got the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel's first year. You got Drake May, Joshua Dobbs. Josh is a good running quarterback too. So anything happens to Drake, Josh is not a terrible backup for that type of offense. But then you also have Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, Antonio Gibson, another nice little pickup in the backfield as a nice little change of pace back. I like him. You got Stephon Diggs, of course, being added on this year. Stephon's got a lot to prove outside of whether BBLs really do smell. Um, sorry. Sorry, maybe. Um, You got Demario Douglas, Mac Hollins. He's got and Kendrick Bourne. So he's got some receivers, and he's also got Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, some decent pass catching tight ends as well. Ready to really, really see what season 2 is going to bring for this young Drake May. Rand.
oh yeah. Sometimes you could look at the personnel and the moves that they make as far as pickups, and you could tell what's going to happen here as far as their style of play. The Patriots are going to play smash
Mm-hmm.
football. They're going to run it down your throat,
Yep.
and they're going to give short third down possessions to work with Drake May and these young receivers. And I think it's going to work. I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other reason why I can very well see
I
them
do too. Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
you know what? You're so right because and here's and here's the thing, Rand. When you have just same thing with the Commanders, when you've got a dynamic young quarterback on his rookie deal, you put weapons around him because you can afford them now, where later when you have to start paying your quarterback $50-60 million a year, you may not have that luxury. You go ahead and bring in these players and you start pushing all your chips into the middle
Yeah.
and you go for it. And you lean
Yep.
on players that accentuate his best characteristics. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. No
I
doubt.
would.
And Mike Vrabel's going to
Yeah.
have that
And
defense
then the
humming at
defense
a
ain't that
high
bad.
level. Exactly.
Exactly. That's why I got him number 2. Because I think the coach is going to the players are going to buy into that coach more in New England than I see them in Miami right now.
Yeah. They are
They're
a much more
have that
physical
defense
football team than Miami on paper right now. Can't argue with that at all.
Absolutely.
Can't argue with that at all.
Yep. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that from the head up part, and wanting to do well for the coach and for the quarterback. So I think we'll see something. Plus, I think the fans in New England are just so used to success. They are tired of being mediocre, and are looking for that next jump back into some sort of respectability.
They got the coach for it.
As a recap, though, we are pretty even. They definitely got the coach for it. We both picked the Buffalo Bills at first. We both picked the New York Jets at the bottom, and we kind of traded off with the Miami Dolphins Dolphins at 3 and Patriots at 2. Right now is going with the Dolphins at 2 and the Patriots at 3, but it's a close coin flip almost with those two.
It's so close. I kind of
that is definitely fair enough. Well, you know what, but you know what? At the end of I was gonna say it could make you change it, because then you have to ask yourself, when we start looking at the playoff picture, who do you think outside of Buffalo, if anybody in the AFC East, could present themselves as a wild card? And I already got mine picked, but I'll let that tease hang out there. Anthony, give me some info while we go to the next division. He says, I got some beef with the Chiefs in the NFL. If it's the statue that they put out front of the referee putting the flag back in his pocket, I get it. I'm just kidding. They do that. I can only imagine what your beef is with the Chiefs in the NFL. But if you bring up the games being fixed, I'm going to drop you.
Thank you.
That is not a thing. Speaking of those Chiefs, let's look at the AFC West. I know, Ray. I know. The Chiefs, and this is the order of finish. The Chiefs at 15-2, LA Chargers at 11-6, Denver Broncos at 10-7, and the Las Vegas Raiders at 4-13. That is how they finished the season. Let's take a look at those aforementioned referee having Kansas City Chiefs, 13-man Kansas City Chiefs. This is interesting. So we've got Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback.
My homeboy.
And then his backup was Carson Wentz. No. They released Carson in the offseason. His backup now is Uncle Rico. Gardner Minshew just keeps finding the job. He's like, you can't kill me.
No. As long as you can throw a football over mountains, they're going to keep you.
I think Gardner Minshew got every team on his bingo card, and I'll be interested to go back and look how many of these bingos he's closed on. So. Has he played for every team yet? It feels like it. I think by the time his 25-year career ends, he'll have played for every single team, and maybe one of them twice. So we'll see. You've got, and this will be interesting to see how this plays out throughout the course of the season, but you got your running backs, Isaiah Pacheco, as your starting back, with Kareem Hunt being the second back. And then you got Elijah Mitchell, too, who's a decent back as well. So you got a nice change up in backs. The biggest issue with the running backs is health. Isaiah Pacheco gets hurt a lot. So it'll be interesting to see if he can stay healthy. But then, like I brought up earlier, you got some thoroughbreds at receiver with Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Hollywood Brown. And yes, they still have Juju Smith-Schuster as well. If you can get these receivers all on the same page, learn how to catch Mahomes' balls so they don't have a bunch of drops, this is a formidable receiving core when healthy and on paper. Travis Kelce is still showing. Yes.
Jalen Royals
is still showing. Oh, I forgot Jalen Royals. Absolutely. And so now you're getting a lot of depth and premium depth at that position. And man, Mahomes can do a lot with that. This is going to be interesting. He does not need Travis Kelce to be an every down back an every down receiver. He's at this point where he can a lot of times be even a good decoy. You still got to pay attention to the man. And if you paying too much attention to Travis Kelce and you let Rashee Rice get loose or Worthy,
and they're starting to run a lot of these double tight end sets. You know, that 2 personnel, which is the name Noah Gray is now starting to come into the forefront. Gray is definitely starting to overshadow the older Travis Kelce at this point in his career.
It reminds me of the Baltimore Ravens doing that with Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews.
Yes, same thing. Yeah.
Where you got to pick your poison because one is a little bit more tenured than the other one, but if you sit there and you blink on him, he's not going to create separation with you anymore. But you still got to know that him and Mahomes have a chemistry where he knows where to put that ball for Kelce to be able to get it and shield off a defender and everything. And that's still a big body they have to bring down. He's still a big boy.
No doubt about it.
So man, that offense looks primed and ready to go. So yes, they look bad in the Super Bowl, but they look bad because there was a defensive line that overpowered their offensive line and had Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable and running for his life. They shore up that line. They keep him off the ground and stop flushing him out the pocket so quickly. And he's able to go through his progressions. He will surgically kill you.
Yeah. Yep. I don't see anybody uprooting the Chiefs out of the West. Not at this point.
Nope. Me neither. I still have them first, Rand.
I got them first again.
Now, here's going to be the interesting thing with the rest of this division.
Yes, this is a
crazy
before you
division
start,
because you've got
really feel,
as big of a name.
I really feel this is going to play out the same way as we played out the AFC East, but we're going to see. It's that 2-3 that's going to really get you.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to say who my number 4 is, and I'm going to see if me because this division is crazy because the coaches on the field are almost as big as the quarterbacks on the field.
Yeah.
You know, of course we got Andy Reid, but then you've got Harbaugh, you got Peyton, and now you got Carroll in this division. Damn. This is going to be a crazy division. Rand, my number 4 team is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders.
Same.
And it's not because Pete Carroll isn't a great coach. It's not because I don't think Ashton Genty is the real deal. I do. It's not so much because of what they haven't done. It's just because of the other two teams that I see in front of them right now. I do see them a team that eventually they're going to need more than just this year. They're going to have to put some things together to really build this team.
They're going to have to continue to build.
Now they do start with yes. Agreed. Because your offense is a mediocre defense. Geno Smith, while reliable and decently accurate, is still not going to be your extended long-term solution. He may give you a little bit of time to be able to find that quarterback of the future, but you're going to have to address that. Aiden O'Connell is going to be out for a while, I think, because didn't he break a wrist or something like that?
Not sure, but
Yeah, I think he's
um,
hurt. I know he got hurt. Um, but then even outside of that, you've got Ashton Genty, the rookie. Raheem Mostert is behind him. You got, for now, Jacoby Myers at receiver, even though Myers has requested a trade
mhm.
uh, because he's been trying to renegotiate a new contract, and him and the Raiders are not seeing eye to eye on a contract extension. And part of the reason, too, is, Rand, I believe the way that I read it is, yes, he still has another year, but none of it is guaranteed. All of his guaranteed money is over. So, I mean, they could cut him tomorrow and they don't owe him a damn thing. So he wants his contract restructured so that he has some guaranteed money in there. Players play for security because they understand that with the way the CBA is that any part of your contract that is unprotected, meaning no guaranteed money, you are out there playing, you know, without any kind of security.
Yeah, you got to watch them
So
Vegas
he's
contracts and
trying to
them Bengal
get
contracts.
that security. Um, plus two, trying to make sure that he gets. Mhm. Oh God, yes. I'm sorry. I think my internet keeps cutting down on me. I apologize, y'all. No, but yeah, you're absolutely right. So you got, and then they also just signed Amari Cooper.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see him come back to the Raiders, where it started, in some ways. So you got Jacoby Myers, Amari Cooper, Brock Bowers is that tight end last year, had a great rookie season at tight end, was their leading receiver, I believe. Um, and he's going to be back for a second year. So they've got some decent pieces out there, but do they have enough to really challenge Denver and LA for a higher spot? I don't think so. Not just yet.
nah, they're a notch below those teams.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, this is what I want to get to then. The number 2 and the number 3.
This is going to be super close.
I
This is
really
going to be even closer than the Dolphins
Oh God.
Patriots.
Oh God. Yes. 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 It's hard, man.
It is.
I gave the nod to the Chargers.
So did I, but
Oh
barely.
wow. Oh my God. Barely. Yes, that is hilarious. I gave the nod to the Chargers. Um but it's a caveat. It's, can Justin Herbert uh protect the ball? Justin Herbert, to me, has so much to prove. When you look at all of his stats as far as size, just Justin Herbert is that prototypical quarterback. Everybody looks for the size, the build, the this, to that, everything else, but he hasn't had any postseason success. Um, and people are going to start looking at him. He's got to really be able to prove that he's a quarterback that can get his team into the playoffs and get in there and go with it. So it'll be interesting to see his progression with Harbaugh. His backup is Taylor Heineke. His third backup is Trey Lance. You got Najee Harris coming in from the Steelers at running back, even though I don't believe is going to be good to go opening day. I think
Man,
he was on the perform list for a non-football injury.
they need to shelf that dude anyway. They got Marion Hampton out of North Carolina. That's the dude I
Bingo.
want to see.
Bingo. Well, he's going to get early chances to prove Najee who?
Najee, who exactly?
Yeah, I think this is going to be his. He gonna say, "Damn, Hampton looking a lot like Warren. He just pushing me out of the way." Yep, this
It
was gonna
don't take much to push his big ass out the way, Mr. Tiptoe through the backfield.
Oh, absolutely, I love it. And then you also have You've got Lad McConkey at wide receiver, Trey Harris, Jalen Rager, Quentin Johnston. This is going to be a big year for Q as well. We really need to see him step up too, because he should be able to do some things. And they also got Keenan Allen in as well to give a lot of veteran leadership. You still got Will Disley, been doing it for a while, and Tyler Conklin at your tight ends. I like his room full of skill position players on the offensive end. I think he can do a lot with these guys as long as the running game is kind of where they started and everything else feeds off the running game.
No doubt about it. Similar to New England. You're absolutely right about that. And shout out to Keenan Allen for coming back to the Chargers. That's awesome. Absolutely right about that.
Oh, I lose you. You said shout out to Hakeem?
No. Shout out to Keenan Allen for coming back to the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my man, Virgil Kane. Hey, Virgil. There's my brother. Greetings from Manchester, England. What's going on, Virgil? Brand new. I don't think you've seen Virgil before, but Virgil normally joins our other show, and he's located in Manchester, and he normally catches us. So thanks for tuning in, Virgil. Do appreciate it.
That's what's up.
But yeah. Hey, I told you, man. I told you, Brand. I told you we worldwide. I told you. So and Rand, I'm also looking at their defense. They've got Dante Jackson, Khalil Mack, Denzel Perryman, Cam Hart. There's somebody else I saw that they have now too. That was interesting to me. Now I can't remember who the hell it was. It'll come back to me in a second. But I mean, I think their defense is going to be pretty formidable.
They got some names, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, we'll see how they come together. And this will be Harbaugh's second year. Definitely be interested in seeing what he can add on top of that. Which brings me to the Denver Broncos, Ram, because we saw a lot from their quarterback in his first year. That was Bo Nix. And he's got Stiddy behind him, Jarrett Stidham. J.K. Dobbins is at your running back. That's kind of where I'm giving the don't really know if they improve running back room. I know they got rid of what's the name? Went over to did he go to Dallas? Yeah, he went to Dallas. What's the name? Played for Carolina. And then where he went.
Wait, who's that again? You got a lag going on.
Yeah, my bad. The Denver Broncos running back last year that they did not, Javonte Williams.
Oh yeah, he went to Dallas. Went to Dallas.
Yeah. So they lost Javonte Williams. They replaced him with J.K. Dobbins, but J.K. has been hit with that injury bug a lot lately, where he's had knee issues and things like that, and now they've got him as a starting running back. This is kind of why I gave the Chargers a little bit more of a nod, because I'm not as comfortable with their skill position players in whole.
Yeah.
I think they'll have some good coaching. I think Bo Nix is a good quarterback. But when you have a young quarterback, you got to surround him with a lot of weapons. I like Cortland Sutton, but some of these other receivers, Mark's with my internet tonight. Yeah. But I think you need something more than Marvin and Cortland Sutton to be able to help out Bo Nix right now. And I don't know if Evan Ingram at tight end is going to be your pass catching tight end option that you really need. Decent, but you need more weapons around a young Bo Nix.
Right. I had the exact same order you had. Got the Chargers finishing second, Broncos finishing third, Raiders pulling up the rear. And until somebody could show me that they could beat Kansas City, I got to keep choosing them number one. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Yep.
We're losing.
That's what I got. So, that's crazy. So we've gotten this division exactly the same. Let me see. Chargers, Broncos. Wait a minute, why did I put? Okay. So wait a minute. I got the Charge. I said Chargers second, didn't I? I don't know why I
Yeah.
changed it there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, the way they finished last year in that order.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. There we go. All right. All right. Well, now we're going to transition to our last division before we get to our predictions. We've got the NFC West, and this is the way they finished last year. Ran L.A. Rams 10-7, Seattle Seahawks 10-7, Arizona Cardinals 8-9, and San Francisco 49ers 6-11. So let's take a look at my number one team that I came up with. Number one, tell me where you're at with that. And that I've got the LA Rams.
I had the LA Rams.
Okay. All right. See? Now, you've got, even with a 37-year-old, my back is killing me, Matthew Stafford. You've got Matthew Stafford at quarterback. You got Jimmy G backing him up. But then you've got, my God, you've got Kyron Williams, stud running back. Blake Corum is a decent running back behind him. But then you've got Puka Nacua at wide receiver. You got Devontae Adams at wide receiver. Tutu Atwell at wide receiver. Xavier Smith at wide receiver as well. Tyler Higbee is going to be your tight end. Fran. Staff got weapons.
He got weapons all over the field, man. Yep. That is a very nice trio.
He lost Cooper Kupp, and he still got weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Devontae Adams, Puka, and Tutu Atwell. Woo, that's hell on wheels. So three ring wide receivers.
Yep. And Kyron Williams catches balls out the backfield too. So real good for check downs when receivers are in coverage and can't get open. You got a nice little safety valve with that little tight end. I mean, that little running back there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I do like the Rams. But as much as I can say I like the Rams on offense, Jesus Christ, I like them even more on defense.
I know. They have some ballers on the defense.
They got some ballers. Yes, they do. And I think that their defense is going to be really, really good. They took Philadelphia to the wire last year in the playoffs. They could have easily won that game. And we would be talking about a whole nother Super Bowl champ. But this is the year that I'm actually thinking that they're going to challenge Philadelphia even more in the playoffs. I'm seeing a rematch. I'm giving my early part of the Super Bowl prediction to this. I'm seeing a rematch coming if they stay on course. Which is going to be
Rams and you got Rams and the Eagles in the NFC Championship. I do too.
Oh my God. Which is gonna be news to my friend Brad's ears, the lifelong Rams fan that I'll be seeing this weekend in New York for our yearly end of summer cookout bash. So he's gonna love the fact that even though I will be wearing my Jalen Hurts jersey to the picnic, he will definitely appreciate the fact that I got his Rams back to where he feels like they belong anyway. So that is absolutely hilarious. Again, we do not talk about these before the show. We are just as surprised as y'all are when it happens.
No doubt, man. Y'all can pull up my predictions on the Cooler page. I think I did them last month. Yep. Eagles, Rams, NFC Championship.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, absolutely. All right, I'm moving into my number 2 team, and we'll see if we're still on the go with that. I'm gonna still go with the Seattle Seahawks. Um, yep, I'm with Seattle right on that one. What you think?
So for this division, I actually got the 49ers taking a jump up to number 2. I think they're going to reclaim themselves. They had, yeah, they had a lot of injuries going on. They had, some losses with Debo. I understand that, but I think they got enough left in
Yep.
the wide receiver room in order to be able to take a step back, especially ahead of the Cardinals. So,
Well, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that part. I still had the Cardinals last. Sounds like you got them last too, then. And you got the Seahawks probably 3.
I actually have the Seahawks coming in last. Wait. Yeah, I did. I had the Seahawks coming in last place.
Okay, and the Cardinals at 3. Okay, I
And the
got you.
Cardinals at 3. Yeah.
Okay, well now we finally got one that's a little bit more topsy turvy outside of number 1. So let's run through these real quick, and then in about 4 minutes we're gonna jump to our predictions, so we have enough time.
Right.
At Seattle Seahawks, Sam Darnold, Drew Lock as the quarterbacks. You got Kenneth Walker the third, Zach Charbonnet as your running backs, Jackson Smith and Jigba. What's up with all these hyphenated names? Marquez Valdez Scantling, Cooper Kupp, uh, Torrey Horton. I like their receivers. We'll see how their tight ends do. I think Sam Darnold proved that if he plays in the right type of offense and not be the reason that they lose, he can help them win. I'm a little bit more comfortable with his protections in Seattle. I'm a little bit more comfortable with his receiving group as a whole to be able to help him out. He proved it when he had decent receivers like a Justin Jefferson and Addison and all those guys in Minnesota that he could perform well. Now, did he show in the playoffs that he could get it done when the lights got big? No, but he never been in those big lights before. Would anybody think that Sam Darnold would be tied to a team that won 14 games? Hell no. So did the pressure finally come up on him? Probably so. But you got to be in it to have a chance. He did get them in it so that they had a chance. Did they? Hey, same thing happened to the Carolina Panthers. They went 15-1, and then Elvis and Elvis Dumerville and my man what's his name came and sat there and slapped all the dreams out of him.
Yeah.
So that sometimes that's all it takes to derail you. But I'm looking right now for the regular season. Do I think Sam Darnold, if he continues what he did in Minnesota, can he duplicate that in Seattle? I don't see why he can't. And I actually, and it's sad to say, but I kind of got a little bit more faith in Sam Darnold right now than I do in Kyler Murray, because some with short quarterbacks that wear midriff shirts that just kind of do something to me.
Especially with that stance,
Not in a good way. It didn't do anything for me in a good way. Don't get it twisted, y'all. But we will see. But that's kind of my hesitation with that. DeMarcus Lawrence, of course, now part of that defense. I kind of think the defense will be enough to kind of where what I'm looking at with this team. I could be totally off, and they may fall flat on their ass and finish fourth, predicted. But I kind of see between the coach and I want to say stability at quarterback, because if Sam Darnold gets hurt, I don't know what Drew Lock is going to be able to do. So a lot of this is contingent on a healthy Sam Darnold playing 17 games.
Yeah, because Drew Lock ain't nobody's answer to quarterback. That's been proven.
Ooh. Which is funny, because if Cleveland decides they want a quarterback. I mean, want to get rid of one. Maybe that's where you send a Kenny Pickett. Maybe that's where you send a Hendon Hooker.
True that. Yeah.
Yeah. Give him a nice little backup with that. So, not a bad idea on that one. All right, let's go to Mr. Midriff himself in Arizona. I forgot he didn't do that this preseason, but that's one of them images, unfortunately, that is burned into my head, and I'll never be able to sleep. It ain't quite the same. You've got Kyler Murray, all 4'3" of him at quarterback. You got Jacoby Brissett. You know, he makes Bryce Young look like a giant. He makes Bryce Young look like Shaq.
That's a shame.
The same. So you got Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett, James Conner, the ageless wonder, still out there at running back with Trey Benson. You've got Marvin Harrison Jr. This is what I need to really see from the Cardinals. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., who was a stud, and he was in the witness protection program most of last year.
Yeah.
We gotta see him and Kyler Murray actually have some more chemistry and be able to connect. I don't like their receivers as much. Trey McBride is a decent tight end. That'll definitely help. But when I looked at the Cardinals, the reason that I couldn't really put them any higher than 4 is I don't like the receiving group. And James Conner is an injury away from them not really having any kind of depth at running back.
Yeah, I barely like the Cardinals myself, man. They have nobody. I mean, let's just keep it real. The wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., is supposed to be all that. Evidently been in the gym all summer, so he's all swole now. But at a wide receiver, is that really going to help you or hurt you? Especially when you didn't show a whole lot of speed last year. So,
and if he does improve ever so slightly, Rand, couldn't they just sit there and shadow him with a high safety and kind of keep the ball away from him, forcing either Kyler Murray to push the ball on the other side or take off and run like he does? And is that going to help you when you, again, negate your best player because they're basically daring you to make the other players relevant, the other receivers?
hey, I don't know what your boy VC is smoking over there in England, but he is high as a kite with some of these comments. So we keep it sports talk, VC. Sports talk.
Oh my God. In the world? I didn't even see all these. Oh my God. So we're not talking about what people are wearing under their shirts. We're not going to do that.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Please talk to him.
Unless it's Joy Taylor. But anyway, but yeah, that's kind of why I'm so skeptical with the Arizona Cardinals. The other thing is that they just have a bad reputation for starting out fast and then just dropping off a damn cliff the second half of the season. So they've not shown me that consistency over the years. Until proven otherwise, they got to be able to show me. And most of those times, a team like this, can you make a turnaround from one season to another? Yes, but you really have to show me in the offseason how committed you've been to doing that. And I hadn't really seen them do a lot in the offseason to make me think that they're that committed to winning behind Kyler Murray. And I don't know if that's because they paid him too much damn money and now they don't want to sit there and have to pay for people to come to Arizona.
Who wants to go to Arizona anyway?
Not me.
That's the better question.
That is a better question. All right. Now let's look at your team that you say are going to go from worst to second. And I can, in a lot of ways, I totally get it. Because San Francisco should never really be one of those teams that you ever mention as a last place team continuing to finish last. Now, I didn't have them last. I had them only because of the Arizona Cardinals. I had them third only because I felt like San Francisco is probably a year away from being back to the San Francisco that we know. If anybody's going to do it, I'm definitely going to trust this coaching staff to get it right. I just think the rebuilding is going to take them a little bit longer than they probably want. They've really got to find out this season, is McCaffrey really, and now he went through training camp unscathed, knock on wood. We'll see how much he can hold up. But this offense goes where McCaffrey goes too, for a lot of reasons. McCaffrey opens up, of course, your running game, but he also opens up your passing game because they will a lot of times put him in motion. He'll end up in the slot and become another receiver, which is very dangerous. He catches balls out of the backfield like a receiver and has that escapability to make people miss. They did just bring in a nice little $3 million insurance policy in Brian Robinson Jr. because the Washington Commanders felt good about their running back room. They were able to bring in Brian Robinson. And then, of course, they have Isaac Guerrero also there as well. But they see Guerrero more as like a home run hitter where he gets that one big gap and he is gone. And he is gone. They need to still see, can he be a multi-down back to really have some confidence in his development. But having that nice security blanket in Brian Robinson does give me a little bit more confidence in the team this year that if McCaffrey does have any extended time missed, they can still right that part of the ship.
Exactly. That was a very important free agency pickup or trade, however they got him. I think it was trade.
It was a trade. They got, I think, a 6-rounder for him for next year's draft, and another for something else, something like that. So, yeah, it was okay. And Washington is going to pay
he is
part
a big
salary.
Oh, okay. Yep, he's a physical back. He showed that much in Washington. He's a nice compliment to kind of keep McCaffrey fresh. That's going to be very, very important when it comes to kind of winning the, or at least competing in the NFC West.
Absolutely.
They do have a nice trio of wide receivers, even though they did lose Debo. They still have Ayuk and Ricky Purcell Jr. and Jaquan Jennings. And Trent Williams still there on the left side to keep Brock Purdy's jersey. So
I agree.
I got some faith in him.
And I do too. I like Brock Purdy. And they got Mac Jones behind him. But I like Brock Purdy because he doesn't hold on to the ball too long a lot of times. He will get rid of that ball pretty fast. And that's really, really good because it's hard for defenses to just come up on him because he ain't going to have the ball in his hand. I like their offense. I love their defense still. You still got Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Mikael Williams back there doing their thing. So you can never count those guys out. What they may lack in youth still, they have an experience. And at this point in their careers, that would definitely help them in positioning, angles, routes, and things like that, recognizing offensive schemes and things like that. So no problem whatsoever with their defense, which is why I have them at third, only because I still feel like Seattle may have done a little bit more in the offseason to get better than the 49ers did. I felt like the 49ers did enough to get themselves out of fourth place, but did they do enough to go from fourth to second? Time will tell with that. And it's very possible that they did. I don't think you can ever keep the 49ers down long anyway.
Yep. Just in looking at the physicality, I think they're definitely the second most physical team in the NFC West, which is the reason why I got them, at number 2. They're definitely more physical than Seattle.
Hands down.
Hands down, Arizona. Arizona's finesse all day long. So
I agree. I agree. And that's why I think they're going to be tough, really tough in their division. Because they play these teams twice a year. It's when they step out of that division and everything. And defense does tend to travel a lot more than the offense does. So we will see if that defense can be just as imposing outside of their conference. I mean, outside of their division as well. But you may be right with that.
Virgil, keep it sports talk. I don't care about you and Brian's fucking friendship. Keep it sports talk. Sir, all due respect. Me and B are also very tight. Just so you know.
That's right. We are very tight. All right. So let's get to our playoff predictions, Rand. In the last five minutes or so. And just as a programming note, y'all, we won't have a show next week. It's Labor Day. But we got this show in with all of the predictions and everything else because then on the 4th, we will have the first game of the season between the Eagles and the Cow. I'm going to say it right.
Bitches.
Because it rolls off. I don't even do it.
It's so easy. It's just so easy.
It is. And it's deserved. So
so deserved.
So okay, Rand, this is what I'm going with. So we picked. Let's see. I got to fill this in as I talk about it. So for our division winners in the AFC, we picked the same ones. We've got the Chiefs, the Bills, the Texans, and the Ravens. So those are 4 playoff spots already. In the NFC, we picked the same 4 as well. We picked Detroit. We picked the Lions, the Bucks, the Eagles, and the Rams. Now it's going to come down to 3 teams on each side. Oh my God! 3 teams on each side. 3 teams on each side to be the wild cards.
You ever had somebody talk to you like they know you and then they get their fucking ass kicked and it's another story?
Yes, sir.
Talk to them, dude.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will. Okay. So, AFC first. This is who I got as my 3 wild card teams. This is going to be crazy. I have the Steelers, the Chargers, and the Broncos.
So I have so I'm going to give you my division winners: Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston, Kansas City.
Yep.
Then I have my wild card teams: Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and the LA Chargers.
I went back and forth with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't know if the defense is going to allow it to happen. I'm skeptical about the defense. I have more confidence in the Chargers defense to hold them up throughout the season to be respectable. I kind of see that division with Peyton and Carroll and Harbaugh and Reed as one of the toughest divisions this year. That whole AFC West over there. It is the only reason that I went with them over the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to have a good record, but I think the Chargers are going to have a little bit better record. I think Joe Burrow is going to throw for 18,000 yards. I think Jamar Chase is going to be a 4,000-yard receiver. Not really. But I think they're going to be close. I think they're going to be high-powered. I just think that they're going to have to score 40 points a game to win. And that's what scares me about that is Joe's going to have to put up he's going to put up unbelievable numbers because he's going to have to give them a chance. That's a difference. And that's the only reason. But I can see it. You notice that I said Steelers first because I ain't counting Tomlin out ever.
You know what? The Steelers are just. I heard a joke the other day that says there's only 6 playoff spots available in the AFC because the Steelers own one of them like year after year.
It's like real estate.
For real.
And they own the ground up underneath them too.
Now they might not have done much with it over these last recent years, but at least they hold one down.
But they get there. Yeah,
they get there.
Exactly. Now, for the NFC, like I said, we both picked the Lions, the Bucks, the Eagles, and the Rams. My 3 divisional wild cards would be the Commanders. Same thing. Heavy division in the NFC North. Commanders, Vikings, Packers.
I got Commanders, Vikings. and I don't know why I did this. Dallas.
I don't know why you did it either. I think Virgil has, Virgil passed on the Gancho over there. Okay. All right. Right on. All right. So let's look at then your conference championship.
So we already agreed on Philadelphia, LA over in the NFC. For the AFC side, I have another rematch, Bills versus Kansas City.
Same.
You got the same?
I got the exact same thing. Now, the ultimate is going to be the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
God, I hate to say this. No. Philly and the Chiefs. I said it.
Oh, you got them running it back. You got them running it back.
Yeah, running it back.
I can see why.
Now, would I be surprised if it was even Rams and Bills or the Rams and the Chiefs? No, I wouldn't. Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. I would not.
And that's what I went with, just to change it up and get the same two teams up out of there. I got a Bills Rams Super Bowl. Just because it's been so Chiefs and Eagles dominant over the past few years. I'm like, how can these same two teams get all the way back to the Super Bowl again with everything that happens in the crazy NFL as far as injuries and that sort of thing?
It's not an easy thing to do. On paper, you can do that.
Yes.
Count for injuries and drop passes, Mark Andrews in the end zone, near the end zone.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So,
yeah, you ever look at an NFL schedule like maybe in July or so, and then by the time the season actually gets here and into the fall, the schedule that you thought was so killer for a team is like cakewalk.
Right.
You just never know with the NFL.
You never know. That's the beauty of it, y'all. So yeah, we love to be able to have fun with our predictions. We actually hold on to these so that at the end of the year we see how we did, because we do at least like to make sure that we're giving you guys really good analysis on these games, but the analysis can only take you so far. It's how they play on the field. We have to be able to look at those. It can change from week to week, depending on injuries can change the trajectory of teams. Which is why I always talk about having good backups in position, having good depth at all of your positions, good coaching, clock management, all three phases of the game. All of those things come into it. You got to pay attention to it because you only get to have an active 53 every single week. So you got to make it count on all three phases of the game. You got to hit, can't miss. So definitely see how that season unfolds. Looking forward to it, Rand. Our next show will be in September. It is going to be on the 8th, I believe it is. Yes, I got it right. It's going to be on September the 8th. 7 o'clock is going to lead right up into the Monday Night Football game, which I don't know what that is right at this moment. But we will lead up right until that. So it'll be from 7 to about 10 after 8, 8:15-ish. You guys time to be to that Monday Night Football game. But we hope y'all stay safe out there. Have a great Labor Day weekend. If you're traveling like I am to New York, be safe on that road. Them people crazy out there.
Be safe, brother.
But we will see y'all next time. You be safe as well. Let me get to my outro. All right, ready to go. See y'all on the other side. Peace.